Hi Tubies, this is Psychic Bob. I want to come today and talk to you about some important things that are going on. And before we get into the topic of today's video, I want to first of all say thank you to all of you who came out to yesterday's video. We did a midnight scrying session, and that was really special. And I enjoy all the comments. Thank you. Something happened after that video was posted, which I'm going to talk about in just a few minutes. But I want to just tell you, first of all, thank you for coming out and supporting that. Secondly, Sunday evening, usually around 8 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, we have the witching hour. We will not be having the witching hour this week. I just need a break. I'm processing a lot of stuff, and I'm tired, and I need a break. So Psychic Bob's going to take this evening off. So, just know that next week we'll be back to our normal schedule, okay? Anyways, I have a very tragic announcement for you today. I'm sitting here today. I've been looking at my jewelry, my artist palette. And I always wear this lately. Lately I've been wearing this. It's a new charm to honor my artwork. But today I'm wearing this for a different reason. I need to give some background. As many of you know, I am what is called a targeted individual. Now I know a lot of you say, oh, I don't know if that's real. Well, listen, it is real. For the past 6 years, since the year 2013, I have been nonstop harassed by the United States federal government. They have tried several times to kill me. I've luckily survived all of them. But I have been stalked. I've had my house destroyed. I've had my finances wrecked. I've also been assaulted with deadly top secret energy weapons, microwave weapons, sonic weapons. Some of you are going to say, what? We didn't know about this. Well, I don't talk about it a lot here. One, because I don't want to make it the focus of my life. I've been very fortunate. Most targeted individuals don't survive very long. Within the first 2 years, many of them die or succumb to suicide because the torture is so horrific. I've been one of the fortunate ones. I've survived. Again, as I said, I don't talk about this a lot here, and I want my channel to be a spiritual place of solace, not a place where I'm always having a drama. So I don't talk about this, but maybe I should talk about it more because people are dying as a result of this program. Back in 2013, I was notified and told by federal agents that I would be assassinated, that I would be killed. And they said, and we will kill you and no one will ever believe that you were murdered. I've taken that death threat very seriously over the years, and they've come very close. I've had 2 mild heart attacks. Yeah, y'all didn't know about that. I never talked about it. I've had 2 mild heart attacks and a mild stroke in the last 6 years. The reason I'm bringing this up now is that after yesterday's video, last night when I did my midnight scrying, after I posted the video, I received notice from one of my friends that a fellow targeted individual whose name is Phil Leek. Some of you may know him. He was a member here at Spirit Channel. Phil Leek. The last name is spelled L-E-E-K. I'll put his link below. Was killed. He lived in England, and for the last 4 or 5 years, he's been a targeted individual. When I first came out as a targeted individual, for a long time I kept it hidden. Phil was one of the people who reached out to me. And he said, hey Bob, I just want to tell you I love your channel. I love what you're doing. Phil was a wonderful person. He was not a religious person, but he was a spiritual person. And he liked the work that I did. He believed in the concept of the spirit world. And he thought what I did was pretty cool. And we talked about our targeting over the years. And I used to talk to him, and This last year, I didn't see much of Phil. He stopped making videos, and like a lot of targeted individuals, I just assumed he kind of moved on. A lot of targeted individuals, we call the term as TI, short for targeted individual. A lot of TIs don't want this to be the focus, and they move on with their life the best they can. All of us have had our lives shattered and destroyed irreparably in many ways, between friendships being destroyed, finances being destroyed, and physical life and property and home being destroyed. Phil, like myself, was told by the authorities that he would be killed. And they tortured him mercilessly with top secret microwave weapons. I received notice last night that Phil died last week. He died in his sleep. And I have this in confirmation from somebody who's directly in touch with his family. And so I know it's true. As I said, I didn't see much of Phil the last year, and I thought he moved on. And his last video was about a year ago, and he was still under harassment. And you can see that video at his channel. People would stalk him. They smashed up his house. His house had break-ins. He was tortured 24/7. As all targeted individuals are, we are all tortured, monitored, and harassed 24 hours a day. Last night, when many of you saw the video, you said, "Psyche Bob, you don't look so good." Well, the truth is, yes, I was sick from the heat, as I discussed with you. But what I didn't talk about in last night's video, which generally I don't like to bring it up, is that I was also ill from exposure to directed energy weapons. In the last few days, I have been mercilessly attacked, burned to the point of injury, of hemorrhaging blood, and nonstop harassment. There are many ways they harass targeted individuals, from voice-to-skull technology, which they literally can beam voices and sound at you, to microwaves that burn through your skin. I encourage all of you to research the following terms: targeted individuals, directed energy weapons, gang stalking, electronic harassment. These are just a few of the terms that will bring you into the nightmare horror world of being a targeted individual. The targeting program seems to be growing exponentially, and I'm meeting more and more people each day who are telling me, "Psyche Bob, I'm being followed by federal agents. Psyche Bob, I've been arrested and told they're going to kill me. Psyche Bob, they follow me everywhere. They break into my house." So many people have reached out to me. For a long time, I hesitated to come forward. You see, I wasn't as brave as my friend Phil. Phil Leek started his YouTube channel to tell people the truth about this program, this gang stalking murder program. It is a murder program. I have been told that I will be killed, and I've come very close to it between 2 heart attacks and a stroke, induced by electronic weapons. Phil suffered immensely with burns. His own mother saw his injuries. Like Phil, my mother initially thought I was mentally ill. She said, "There's no such thing as lasers coming from the sky and killing people. You're imagining the government harassing you." Phil's mother said the same thing to him. But in time, like anybody who will give targeted individuals a chance, she started to see and realize that he was being followed by federal agents. He was being harassed. His house was being broken into. His property was being destroyed. And he was being injured with these top secret satellite-based directed energy weapons. Phil fought the good fight. He stood for truth, and he didn't back down. He wasn't afraid. You'll notice in his last video, he's got a lot of muscles. This last year, he was so harassed, he felt that he had to, bulk up, basically, to do exercise in the event that he had to defend himself against a physical attack. Many of us who are TIs are not only emotionally harassed, but we are physically attacked. from people coming up to us on the street and pushing us, hitting us, knocking us down, to police harassment where police handcuff you, hit you, and laugh in your face, to other forms of abuse that are too many to go into here. But the fact is, I'm here today to remember my friend Phil Leek. He was killed. His parents, or his mother, I don't think his father's still alive, but his mother is seeking to have an autopsy of his body. Now, I don't expect a lot to come out of the autopsy because they'll say, oh, he died of natural causes, probably. But see, what it is that these weapons induce a natural cause death. They can induce a heart attack. They can induce a stroke. I've been on the receiving end of all of this. I have yet to hear the official verdict on his death. But it doesn't really matter what they say. The fact is, Phil was killed. He was notified by his stalkers that he would be killed, that he was targeted for destruction. And in the end, they won. All of us who are in this program are victims of a murder plot. Again, I don't talk about this a lot because most people, frankly, don't want to hear it. And they think I'm crazy. But you know, when death hits at the door, it becomes very real. There's a YouTuber that I follow named Shane Gibbs. He's leading a group out of Britain to bring awareness to the targeting program. Shane said today in his video, and I'm going to put his link below. I want you to go watch his video about Phil. Shane said, how many of you out there are chicken? How many of you are cowards that you won't stand up and tell the truth? Is death enough to get you off your backsides? And I really took that to heart because, you know, I don't often say much, but maybe I should. And when I saw one of my friends brutally killed now by this program, and I know he was murdered, I won't be silent. Maybe they'll kill me. They've tried. I don't fear death. I believe in a higher power. But I won't be silent anymore. Phil's death was unjust. He was only 32 years old. If you look at his videos, you will see and hear his testimony. He's not lying. I can personally validate for the truth of his claims, as well as my own claims. You know, they say it takes a TI to know a TI, and he was a TI. Just like my friend Shane is a TI. There are people around the world now that are going through this. It's not only in the United States, it's in the United Kingdom, and I've heard it from other countries as well. There is the rise of a destruction that is trying to take over and silence those who are the light workers. It's very interesting because my friend Vulcan Wolverine, who notified me of his death, said it's interesting. They seem to target good people. They seem to target people that have vision, that have dreams, that are creative. I can say Phil was all this. He was an artist. He loved art. His artwork was amazing. He showed me some of his pictures. And if you go to his channel, you'll see his artworks. And so as an artist, I feel a kinship with him, as well as being a TI. And so today I'm wearing my artist palette for Phil. And Phil, I know that we'll eventually connect. Today I'm not hearing from him. I'm still in shock. But I'm wearing this palette, this artist palette and brushes for Phil. Phil, I wear this for you today. May you be at peace in your journey in the spirit. You're free from this earth. Phil is free now. We remain here to suffer and to be tortured. But we can honor him by speaking the truth. If you are a targeted individual, please know that here at Spirit Channel you have a safe refuge, a safe haven. You can be safe here. We don't have perps here. And if we do, we get rid of them really quickly. Perps, what's a perp? Perp is a perpetrator. Perpetrator is somebody who carries out the torture against targeted individuals. I've had plenty in my own life. But I'm not going to give them the honor today. Today we're talking about Phil. But Phil was a victim of perps, of perpetrators, as am I, as are all targeted individuals. If you ever met Phil, you would like Phil. He was a creative and a free spirit. And I remember him in that light today. I remember him as a person with vision, a person of spiritual light. He used to say to me, I know there's a spirit world, Bob. I've seen you talk about it, and I believe it. I had the joy of sharing my belief in the spirit world with him, and he seemed to reciprocate and accept that and like it. So, Phil, I know you're in the spirit world today. So, guys, I'm going to keep this short. I wanted to bring the news to you. I'll put the links below to Phil's channels and also to Shane and to Vulcan Wolverine, also targeted individuals. If you want another perspective on targeting, see their channels. They are real. I've spoken personally with each of them, and I can validate the authenticity of their claims as well. So let us remember my friend Phil Leek today. May he always be blessed. Thank you for being here, guys. In honor of Phil, I'm going to do a painting soon to honor him, and we'll have that in the coming weeks. But in the meantime, pop over to my website. This evening, it's not up yet, but it should be up in the next hour or so. You will be able to get my painting, Yellow Biomorph. It's a free download that you can have of my actual painting. My full-size painting is a 20 by 24 canvas, but I've created it in a print form now of the original painting that you can have. So I hope you'll get that from my website. Go to psychicbob.com. Thank you for being here. Thank you for understanding. I'm going to take some time tonight to just unwind, to heal, to reflect, and think of Phil. And I hope that wherever you are, you will remember those who claim to be targeted individuals and explore their claims and discover there is great sorrow in the world. But also know that we have the power of the spirit world, the power of the light, and will overcome. Thank you for being here. May all of you always blessed be.